You're listening to Mad Men Sports, sponsored by Black Button Distilling. To my left, we have Zach, myself, Jake, and Diamond Dave.
Guys, we did it. We won.
9-3. The Buffalo Bills on Thanksgiving beat the Dallas Cowboys.
The national media is taking notice.
Barely. I mean, you hear Tony Romo the whole game. I don't think he said three nice things about the Bills. Zach, what's going on, man? What did you feel about the game today?
Not too much. It was a good win. It's their third complete game put together straight. So I think it's time to just say that they're complete. I mean, this is what you're gonna get. They're scoring, in the mid-20s. They're keeping the defenses low. I mean, besides the garbage time touchdown today, the Bills had 26 unanswered points, and the defense stood up after that first drive. They got punched in the mouth, they got right back up. This team is resilient. I thought that there was going to be a lot of problems with maybe Josh Allen being a little too nervous. His nerves could get the best of him. We've seen that before many times. I think he came out level-headed, didn't let the game get too big for him, relaxed, calmed down, slowed it down. Cole Beasley helped. Devin Singletary helped. John Brown even helped throw the slack around a little bit. The offense line was great. I think the team is starting to feel themselves on offense.
Yeah, after a 25-16 win, I mean, yeah, they did have that garbage time touchdown.
26-15.
26-15, what did I say?
25-16.
Oh, yeah. Got to add that extra point.
Man. That's 2 points.
I mean, with Steven Hauschka missing all those kicks, I mean, very possibly wouldn't be wrong. But that has to be the best game the Bills have played as a team. I mean, The defense kept it together. Josh Allen looked composed and poised in the pocket. And, I mean, even outside
a lot
the
of time
pocket.
today.
Oh, my God. Did you see that one play where he was standing still?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Yeah. So much time in the pocket. I think the offensive line played decent. I mean, he was sacked a couple times, which is okay. Diamond Dave, what are your thoughts?
Of the game?
Yeah, please.
Isn't it great to win a primetime game on Thanksgiving? Doesn't it feel good?
Oh
this
my
might
God,
have been the
it's great.
best Thanksgiving in a long time, maybe ever.
I said to Zach before we started here, because sometimes we talk, and I think this is the Bills' biggest win in 15 years. Josh Allen is our future quarterback.
We do talk.
I would say there's no argument about that now. That play on 4th and goal when he put 3 efforts in to get it.
Oh, that was great.
Best quarterback play I've seen out of a Bills player. And
That's a defining
probably
play.
since Flutie.
That's a defining play for a quarterback.
Oh, 1,000%. I mean, when you go 19 for 24, I mean, you're not making a lot of errors. None. I mean,
78% completion is awesome.
And we talked before again on the podcast, and we're trying to figure out what to talk about today. There's no complaints. I said, why don't we just be 3 dudes just sitting down talking about how good the Bills were today, how awesome the Bills were. Also, how sad Jerry Jones was. F him. Also, Jason Garrett's probably going to get fired. No matter what reports say, I still think he's getting fired, either tomorrow or Sunday.
and Jerry Jones left the game early. He left the press box with about 3 minutes left.
Yeah, the guy hates losing. I mean, he put all that money in the stadium, and they have a subpar team, and they had a graphic on there, and I don't want to talk about the Cowboys too much. Graphic on there of the Cowboys remaining schedule and the Eagles remaining schedule. Cowboys are not going to the playoffs.
No.
Eagles have their easiest remaining schedule. Eagles are a bad team too, but even though they beat us, they're going to go to the playoffs, and the Cowboys are not going to make it, and it's going to be epic. Just the memes alone that you're going to see are going to be awesome.
How about that Cole Beasley revenge game, too? I mean, 6 receptions for 110 yards. That's a career day.
Was there anyone more hungry today
Bills.
than Cole Beasley? Well, besides all of us. Cole Beasley?
I got to be honest, man. It's pretty disrespectful what Cole Beasley did today, and I'm kind of mad at him. No Nut November had 2 days left.
He got
his nut, and that was very inappropriate. You had to wait those 2 days, man.
No, I mean,
6 catches for 110 yards and a tutty.
I'm not going to lie. I called it back in July. I mean, come on. Cole Beasley, this was his revenge game, and he definitely came out and played fantastically. I mean, that one play when the Bills were backed up at their own end zone, I mean, that pass was beautiful.
November seems like a Buffalo Bills offensive revenge game. Like, this month has been awesome for the Buffalo Bills offense. Dable has got up in the booth last 3 games, and he's been money. He's been helping out Josh Allen, see what's going on out there. Josh Allen's been helping out the linemen. He's been calling some audibles. I think this offense is really finding an identity. Devin Singletary has finally established himself as the go-to guy, and that's awesome.
You guys all know how much I love running. I'm old school. I can finally say I feel confident, and I think the Bills are confident in Devin Singletary. He's a passing threat now. He can catch the ball, open field. He's fast as hell. It's great to have. It's great to have a running back like him right now.
And speaking of running backs, how great is it that we only allowed Zeke Elliott to 71 yards on 12 carries?
I think Zeke still had good game overall. I think he's their one bright spot they had today.
Yeah, 100%. He's a good player. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think he'll.
The more shocking thing to me with the Cowboys was I kept hearing about how good their defense is, and their defense was not very good today.
They have the number 6 ranked defense in the NFL. So back-to-back weeks here, you got the Bills going against Denver, number 4 ranked defense. Dallas, number 6 ranked defense. And the Bills' offense has put up 800 yards the last 2 weeks. Think about that.
That's a crazy amount of yards. You
great.
don't see that out of Bills' offenses.
And
Not
Zach,
usually.
even your boy, who we don't even have to say,
It's your boy.
Chucking the
threw
ball.
a touchdown pass today.
Chucking the ball.
That was a
What is
beautiful
that
play.
all about?
That's the best offensive player. Making the plays known. Went over to coach, said, I'm tired of this schmuck throwing the ball. Give it to me.
So
I'm
he
kidding. No
he
disrespect
actually
to
has
Josh.
more touchdowns this November than Jared Goff. That's a little fun fact for all of you.
It's not
That's
only a fun fact,
pathetic.
it's a true fact.
That's
That's a
pathetic.
crappy fact.
And
listen.
for you that don't know, Jared Goff's the quarterback of the Rams. Sorry.
Barely.
For now. They've made their mistakes. We, however, have not made a mistake. I think that this was a great opportunity for Josh Allen to showcase his ability in front of the world. Last year, this was the most watched NFL game besides the Super Bowl. This was the most watched regular season game last year. And I'm willing to bet that when the ratings come out, this will be towards the top this year because Josh Allen put on a show even though the Dallas Cowboys didn't show up. And I don't want to say this because I know you guys like breaking this guy's back
Well-
WWE style. But Starla Tule went to the Lone Star State, and he became a star.
A star
Yeah,
is born.
Yeah,
A
yeah,
star is
I got a
born.
whole bunch of curl I'm going to eat in a minute. But first, I want to say, you said the Cowboys didn't show up today, and I think you're wrong. That's the one thing I feel great about this game. I feel like the Cowboys did show up, and I feel like they played their asses off. I feel like they wanted the game more than we did today.
They
But
needed
I
it.
think that's the thing
They
that makes
definitely
me
needed
feel
it.
all warm and fuzzy inside, because the Bills just were the better team all around.
That's the tryptophan.
They definitely played desperate today. I mean, Dak threw 49 passes.
355 yards is not good for the defense, but
Well,
also
that's the thing.
The people that want 300 yards out of Josh Allen, these quarterbacks are constantly losing throwing 300 yards.
Their offense was moving. Our rookies today, Singletary and Ed Oliver, and name someone else that I'm not thinking of, were
Dawson Knox.
great. Ed Oliver got 2 sacks, his best game as a pro. Singletary, you could somewhat argue that was his best game as a pro. They looked like stars today. They showcased themselves. And the Crow thing I'm going to talk about is, this offseason I talked a lot of bullshit about the receivers being Brown and Beasley. They've shut me up this year. I've talked a lot of bullshit about Starla Tule. I'm still going to talk bullshit about Starla Tule.
But he had a great game.
He had a good game
Great
today.
game.
He had
He
a block
had a
kick,
block kick.
interception that almost was a touchdown.
Yeah.
My
Oh,
feelings is it's a little too late, but we'll take the good game.
No,
Thank
let's
you.
continue this success.
Yeah, don't stop now, Star. Keep that up. Keep that energy.
But, I mean, who's next? Who else did I bash this year? Who's going to have a good game next? I mean, Jesus
Trent Murphy
Christ.
had a strip sack twice, I think.
Trent Murphy had a good game.
He had a strip sack, and on another play, he had a fumble recovery.
Our
from
best,
Ed Oliver.
our best person on defense today, who was it?
Trey White had not, and I'm not saying a rough first half. I mean, definitely the refs did not do him any favors, but he played
Those
specifically.
are weird penalties, man.
Yeah, that's
lights
something
out.
else we want to talk about. Those refs were just bullshit.
That was not
best
the best
defender was
ref
Ed Oliver
performance.
today. We wouldn't have won if it wasn't for Ed Oliver. He
How-
was all over the place.
Shaq Lawson's close. That D-line, I'm not even going to give it a one player. I think that D-line as a unit played their best game under Sean McDermott so far. 3 years, this was the best D-line game so far.
1,000%.
Hands down. They went in there against, and don't get me wrong, I'm not even using these lightly. They were the best offensive line on paper across the NFL. They're the highest paid offensive line. They deserve it. They have a running back that gets 1 billion yards. They have a quarterback that's comfortable back there.
And that's
Our defensive line walked in and walked all over there for 4 sacks, 2 strip sacks. They were all over, causing pressure all over the place.
that should be a lot of credit to Leslie Frazier because the Bills blitzed a lot more than I expected them to today.
I loved it.
A lot of
A lot
zone
more than they
blitzes.
probably should have today, but it still worked. It was great.
I don't think it was too much. I mean, the zone blitz definitely worked out in their favor today. I mean, Dak Prescott was always under pressure.
That was great.
Yeah, a little quiet assassin, not just today but all season, is Milano's going to want to be paid, and we're going to have to pay him. He deserves every little penny
No one's saying not
he's going to get because he's just a monster.
That open
He
field,
broke up so many plays today. Go ahead, Jake. Talk for me.
That open field tackle on a third down, I think, on Zeke Elliott near the sideline. That was just a fantastic play. I mean, Zeke is a big, strong, fast guy. For him to take him down with what it looked like with ease, I mean, it's great. I mean, even Tremaine Edmonds had a good game. I mean, Lorenzo Alexander may have been a little quiet today, but that's fine. I mean, he's one of your older players on your defense. But Matt Milano is definitely kind of specifically, past couple games as well, has really played lights out with such an elite defense. That's going to be important to kind of have great players on all levels of your defense. I mean, you have the defensive line that we've kind of put a lot of picks in and paid a lot of money. I mean, you have a great secondary with Poyer, Hyde, Trey White, and rotating with Kevin Johnson and Levi Wallace. I mean, our defense is sound. No one is second-guessing that. It's just really great to see how you have a high-powered offense. I mean, Dave and I were talking about this off-pod. On paper, the Cowboys, really great team. And to put 25 points up against
26.
I don't know why I keep
Should have been 30.
It's,
gotta figure out the
that
kicker.
Steven Hauschka really pisses me off. I'm taking away points from him.
You know what?
It's great.
We're talking about all this like love fest we're having. Someone in the last 3 weeks has really turned around their season and really have turned into, a huge bright spot for the team. You guys got an idea on who?
Who?
Corey Bojorquez. When he played this week, only 4 punts. He made plays in key situations and pinned the Dallas Cowboys constantly. I think he's been a huge bright spot lately.
No, Corey Bojorquez, very much so. I agree. I mean, the beginning of the season he really struggled, but even last week he's putting punts, kind of pinning them like behind the 20. I mean, it's great. I mean, that's kind of a really underrated position in the NFL. I mean, no one's going to disagree with that. But I mean, it's the difference between starting at the 40 or starting at the 10, and it's really great. And I think it played a big difference in today's game. We're pinning them a lot. I mean, hey, shout out to Corey Bojorquez.
This is unarguably Josh Allen's best 3-game stretch as a Bill.
1,000%.
Easily.
I don't think today was his best game.
Oh, I disagree.
Statistically, it's not.
It's not his
the
best
Dolphins game is,
but it's a great
But today's
continuation.
his defining game. Today's his
Absolutely.
game where I'm here. Let's fuck it up.
With the lights on, Josh Allen arose to the occasion.
He balls.
He made Jerry Jones cry.
Which is always a great thing.
Yeah, I'll take it.
God. Were you guys nervous at the start of the game today?
I was just frustrated. I was very frustrated. Full disclosure, you got the whole Thanksgiving thing going on. A lot of people talking. You got the kids running around. You got the family thing. It's hot. The kitchen's been cooking all day. It was frustrating to watch them come out, push the defense all over the field, and then you're like, what's going on here? And then the offense comes out, doesn't move the ball correctly. The defense comes out, corrects himself. Everything started to slow down there. I know Nate Geary, friend of the podcast, definitely had nerves going in with tweeting out in the third drive of the game saying that it's going to be a blowout. Sorry,
that
guys.
dude is
That's
such
tough.
a loser. I hate Nate Geary.
I didn't have much thoughts going into the
He's
game.
a fellow Buff State grad.
I was excited for the primetime game. I was excited that other people were able to watch the Bills. We were watching the pregame today, and like everyone from CBS to Bill Cowher down to whoever else is on there. Maybe Shannon Sharp.
Okay,
I don't know if
Boomer
he's still there.
Esiason.
But
shit.
they're all picking against the Bills, and it got me thinking. Like I started to become one of them puppets, and I'm like, oh shit, maybe bright lights.
And Dallas is good. Don't get us wrong.
Bills would be like shriveled up, but they weren't. Bills went out there and performed. It was annoying today because I never felt like the Bills had the win until there was 5 minutes left. I always felt like the Cowboys had any chance to make a play, one play away from making a play. But that's just being a Bills fan. You never know. You never know.
Number one offense in the league. They could have at any point.
They still put up a lot of yards. I think the Cowboys had something close to 400 yards today.
Yeah, and you know what? Hats off. They had over 400 yards, but most of that's in garbage time. I got to be honest.
And they couldn't do anything with it.
Exactly.
I mean, going on it. What did you guys think about that 4th and 1 at the 20? Was that a wild move
For the Cowboys?
Yeah. I mean, granted,
it was ballsy. I get where they're coming from. You never want to appear desperate, though, and the Cowboys appeared desperate
They were
early
playing
in the
for their
game.
jobs.
Yeah.
You never make a move out of desperation.
What about that beautiful Josh Allen QB sneak where he dropped the ball, went digging in that pile, and went over it, and gained about 3 or 4 yards. That was beautiful.
And that right there describes the whole Bills season. They don't give up. They're fighting. They trust the bullshit process, whatever it is.
Not bullshit.
But you know what? That's going to be the play that you see in the highlight reel. That's going to be the play you see when Josh Allen retires. That's going to be the play that defines Josh Allen's career. That right there is what the Buffalo Bills are. They always fight until the whistle. But the question I was going to ask you guys, what's going on with Hauschka? If we lost this game today, we'd be talking a whole different story about
he
needs
left
to be
4
gone.
points on the board.
About how he needs to be gone.
Barely, lucky he called bank on that shot. So he got 3 points there, but he left 4 points off at halftime. It should have been a 10-point game, which would have parlayed into an even bigger, advantage coming out of the half because the Bills did score. Not unusual. So I just think that I don't know. I don't know. I really don't have a clear-cut answer on what to do with a kicker that isn't producing at 100%. And it's tough in the NFL to produce at 100%, but you got to start making some of them, at least the extra points. I don't care if you miss every freaking field goal. Just make the extra points at that point.
Yeah, I think he's a little rattled going back to the Cleveland game. I mean, the lights were on. I think he was affected by that because, you're not dealing with any win. But then at halftime...
I'll take a lot of blame for that.
At halftime, you get pumped up by Ellie Goulding. He was on the field while she was performing.
Ellie Goulding.
The halftime performer.
Shout out on the podcast.
I know. That's the only shout out she should deserve. But, he kind of settled down in the second. I don't know if it was a field goal or an extra point where it doinked off the
field goal,
the upright and kind of bounced in. That was almost a miss, too.
Yeah. People are going to ask what they mean about the Hauschka and my fault. It really was my fault, but I'm not going to get into that. That's an inside story that you guys will have to find out on your own.
It's like a Seinfeld episode, honestly.
Yeah.
Dave ran into Hauschka, and this whole ordeal.
I brought up the weather. He doesn't want to talk about the weather. I jinxed him.
It's a real Curb Seinfeld mashup.
It's completely true. We could tell you more if you ever see me in person. But, I don't think Hauschka... he did miss kicks.
Dinner with the Madmen.
He did miss kicks. I'm not concerned. I think Hauschka is still our kicker of the future.
Quarterback of the future. You heard it
I'm
here
not
first.
worried about.
I'm
not worried about Hauschka at all. Is it time to do a diamond?
Oh,
or do you guys have anything else you want to talk about?
I think it's going to be the most controversial diamond of the year.
Yeah. Well, actually, before we go, what are you guys watching on Sunday with no football, no Bills? Are you guys going to watch
Patriots?
The Patriots game?
Yeah, Patriots.
Maybe.
I might just not watch it.
And maybe the Ravens.
Yeah, I don't know. The Bills took care of business. They have, at the moment, a 3-game lead on the wild card.
Might catch up on the Mandalorian. I don't know. I might take a week off.
Dave started the Mandalorian without me.
Another inside story. Diamond. Why don't I ask? My diamond's made up. I'm not going to change my mind on this. What do you guys think the diamond should be? I think this is going to be controversial, and this is the fun part where you guys can comment and whether you agree with me, disagree, or try to change my mind.
Now remember, diamonds can't be quarterbacks.
Yeah,
John Brown is a completely ineligible diamond in the rough for the rest of the season. He got his 2. He's done.
We talk about the quarterback enough, and we're going to spend a couple minutes on a podcast about the quarterback. So Josh Allen's excused from diamonds.
He's always a diamond.
I want it to be Cole Beasley. I know
Zach?
it probably isn't. But.
I think you got to give it to a guy that had 2 huge plays in the fact that there was a point where if we don't get a takeaway at that point, the game's going to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I think Star Latule's interception was gigantic. Yeah. What a moment. And honestly, if he does take that back, there's no doubt that he's the diamond. And then, this is pivotal point. They're coming out there driving, trying to get points before the half, blocked field goal. That's huge.
Beautiful.
So, in the big picture, the way that the Cowboys were driving, the way that, the game was going, Star saves 10 points on just him alone, which is fascinating because he's been a nobody all season. So I just think it would be genuinely unique to see a guy like Star Latuile show up weird in a stat such as the diamond in the rough.
The most coveted.
Exactly.
Now, take it away, David.
So Zach brings up a lot of good points about Star Latuile. He's not the diamond. Devin Singletary could have been. Very good game. He was an option. Ed Oliver wanted to give it to him so bad, wanted to see a little bit more, but I couldn't take it away from this guy. Cole Beasley, you get your second diamond in the rough this season.
Nutty boy.
You played your old team. I don't believe we would have won today if he wasn't there. I know Josh Allen played the game he did, but Cole Beasley was by far the best player on the field today. Some would argue that. I think it's okay to have that conversation. Cole Beasley was a monster. Congratulations, a diamond in the rough. You showed the Cowboys that you love Buffalo more than them, and also you made Jerry Jones cry, and that's more important to me than anything else.
Everyone's making Jerry Jones cry.
I made Jerry Jones cry.
People don't understand how much
He's allergic to tryptophan.
I personally hate Jerry Jones, and
R.I.P.
I imagine most of you do too.
Speaking of tryptophan, he's one fan I would trip.
Damn, that was good. I like
trip
that.
his ass so hard.
Yo.
No, but listen, some of the throws, just for real quick, is before we wrap up here, some of the throws today I saw to Josh Allen, like that one on the goal line when he's trying to get away from the goal line, and then the one on the pass to Cole Beasley, and there was a couple others on the. He was making that one on the run to Robert Foster. Those are three throws that I don't think I could see another quarterback ever make, and I've definitely never seen a quarterback make in a Bills uniform.
No, definitely not.
He is really starting to get on a roll to the point where I hope he never stops growing, because I have no idea what this guy's ceiling is. And listen, sky's the limit for this guy, to the point where he could really take over the league as a top 5 quarterback if he keeps growing. I'm not saying he's there now. I'm not saying he's close now. But I'm saying the leap from year 1 to year 2, he has completely maximized his short game. He's completely turned around the way he looks at the field. He goes through all of his reads. That's something that I can say about him that I'm not sure I can say about every single quarterback in his draft class right now, is that he goes through reads. He goes to the first read, second read. He goes all the way through the progression of the field. And that's not something I think you could say about a lot of guys in his position.
A lot of that is because he has time. Our offensive line looks phenomenal the last 4 weeks.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. And then also the way he keeps his eyes up on the run when he is extending plays. I think Josh Allen is starting to bud into something important. And listen, I didn't necessarily have in my heart that this was going to be a win. I definitely think that this is an 11-win team right now. At the minimum, you have to beat the Steelers. You have to beat the Jets at home. Go ahead and steal a game from Baltimore or the Pats, or steal both of them and run the table and win the division.
Imagine winning out.
Win out, baby. Just win, baby, win. 1 week at a time here at Madman Sports. But you want to know what? We have 10 days.
So we're taking Sunday off. We'll be back next Wednesday for the Ravens pregame.
Yep.
Jake, take us home.
All right.
We got to head out of here to go catch an airplane.
I know.
We're seeing the Bills off.
I'm personally going to bed, but you guys do your thing.
Perfect. Just a quick thing. We are in the season of giving. So for every subscriber that we get until the first of the new year, we will be donating $5 to a local charity. We started at $930. We are now at $947 currently. So please get us to 1,000. We want to make a difference in the community.
Get us over 1,000. Keep going. There's no ceiling on this. Get us up. Break our banks. Have us giving breadcrumbs for Christmas to our family. Let's do it.
Make me eat canned food for weeks. I don't care.
He already eats canned food.
Check us out on
I live alone.
Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe. Hit that like button. Listen to us on Spotify, iTunes, Podcast Addict, whatever you want.
I always answer the comments on YouTube. At least I try. There's a lot this week. I'm sorry.
Definitely hit us with a comment. We love comments. Diamond Dave loves comments.
I ask them 3 times a day any good comments. I'm always at work, so I always check up on you guys.
Someone convinced Dave to get a Twitter as well. Guys, your Buffalo Bills are 9-3. Soak it up. We got a long road ahead to the
Can't wait
Ravens.
to talk about
I don't
Lamar
know.
Jackson
Whatever.
and Mark Ingram. And that Baltimore
Hopefully,
defense.
hopefully they get banged up on Sunday.
Yeah, big,
Nice.
Top of my head, though, I don't know who they're playing.
big 49ers game there.
Niners.
40s,
Niners.
yes.
Good.
Great game.
Go Bills.
Go Bills, baby.
Bring it in.
Woo.